Let's see if this works. If you can hear me, it's a miracle. The tech support prayers have worked. I see the live icon next to the channel, so who knows? Maybe we are live.
It's working now.
Ah, there's the stream.
It's just like when you start a stream and then like close it, it gets all weird.
Yeah, let me throw a stream announcement up. Ooh, streaming more Aria. It's funny, someone at the con was like talking about a granddaughter, and she was like, oh yeah, she's named Aria or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty name. And she's like, yeah, as in the musical term, not from Game of Thrones. And she was like upset, like she doesn't like Game of Thrones. And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I know all about that name. You know, I'm playing a game and it's called it's a vampire game, and it's Aria of Sorrow, and then the sequel is Symphony of the Night, you know? So I know all about Aria as a musical term. I didn't. I was lying. But I don't know what an Aria is. In fact, live gameplay, guys. I'm going to look up Aria musical term. So if I run into some lady who says that again. Musical piece for a single voice as a part of a larger work. Oh, so like when like the music kind of falls away and then they do a little like solo, but it's their voice. That's an aria. Hello, Eric Lowry. Willkommen, as they say.
Yeah. I would be pretty upset too if someone always thought that I was like named after Game of Thrones even before I existed.
There was quite a few people who named their daughter Daenerys, who didn't bother to read the books.
Yeah.
and then Daenerys is like, hey, you know, it'd be sick if we genocided everyone in the city. And then they're like, no, she was the feminist icon. I did not see genocide coming. Okay. Alright, so it was F4 was the boss fight, and then F5 was outside the boss fight. So let's go outside the boss fight. Because while the boss seems very doable, it's very time-consuming.
It's still pretty weird to like name your child Daenerys even after like reading the books. Are you? It's not. The game isn't full screen.
Are you sure?
Look at the stream. There's no game.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's just that you're looking at the screen and see it full screen, and you're like, it's not full screen. I mean, there's kind of nothing for it.
Why isn't it just working?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could just close it and open it, but we'd have to restart the stream again.
Yeah.
I could go for window capture. Maybe that one wants to work.
It's weird because it was working when it was small,
And
then all of a sudden it just.
Yeah, I don't know.
All of a sudden it just glitched out and then it didn't work anymore.
Yep. Well, I could always close the program and open it again. And then maybe it'll just decide to work.
But yeah, it's weird to name your child after Daenerys after watching Game of Thrones and being like, yeah, that's my child, the one who gets raped. I mean, you know what I mean, though? It was like,
You know, I gotta admit,
kind of inappropriate.
I forgot what happened in, like, the first couple, like, episodes. I fell off, and then, you know, I just kind of, like, experienced the show, like, vicariously through other people. I didn't really...
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's not gonna work. We're just gonna have to close the stream and open it. I mean, like, realistically, it's just not gonna do it, right?
I just don't understand.
I mean, that's only because it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, there's no logic to this program. It just, like, it won't work, and then you close it and it will work.
Does it need to be updated or something?
I mean, I guess, but no, because it worked yesterday without an update. None of the programs we're using have changed. I didn't update my OS. Nothing has changed. It just decides not to work some days. And will work other days. Okay, so maybe hold on. I'll load up Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duelist Academy. Can it recognize Yu-Gi-Oh! GX visual? Oh, here we go. How about that?
It's time to do. Now is the time.
No, you know, it's...
It appears to be being a dumb gay.
So if I close the program and then open it without a game running, would it decide that exists now? No, I guess not. Oh. I got Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duelist Academy to show up. But I'm not running that game right now, so this is going to be the wrong... Here. No, even then, it doesn't... I guess this is the wrong Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duelist Academy. Alright, so let's open up Aria of Sorrow again, and then when we see that on the list, maybe that would indicate that it's gonna put that on the screen. I just see the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duelist Academy. We can get the main menu music playing for you. Don't worry, Oh no, this is... Yeah, okay. Right. So it's got... No. Faked out. So it's got Visual Boy Advanced without a game running, just like the main screen. Then it's got a separate option I could display Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duelist Academy, which is not currently open on my computer. So... you know, just open it and close it until it shows up, maybe? I don't know, maybe go to window capture, go to intermission, go back. Nope, still...
Yu-Gi-Oh! Has sent Castlevania to the Shadow Realm, man.
Well, I mean... one way to look at it. The other way is, like, it got something to change, which is cool. Oh, that's not Blue Kaiba. Okay, so let's go back to window capture. What do you think? No, I've got Visual Boy Advanced. Oh, okay. So that now is the game? Cool.
Like
alright. Cool. Okay, now F5.
Alright.
Dude Galaxy.
Ooh.
Dude Galaxy's got a Adam, why do you hate
Icon.
medieval fantasy? That's a good profile picture, because even at like a super tiny scale, I can sort of tell it's like a guy, and then there's like lights and stuff.
Lights and stuff, yes.
I like that. I think Aura Honeydews is pretty solid too, because you can tell it's like some kind of like Silver Age comic book thing going on. Jesus Christ. So my cousin was just texting me. He's losing weight. He's coming down from like a very... Oh, there's a ceiling. I'm not just like a hobbit. Can't jump. My cousin's coming down from a very like high weight, very impressive weight loss. No. No. Alright, let's go back. Didn't happen. Redacted. He's losing weight down from like a very no, I didn't miss. I'm not some kind of chuckle fuck. Oh. Alright, let's see if I can get it. Can I get a double? Oh. I didn't know that was an option. It's funny. Okay. So he's coming down from a very impressive weight, and for each... What was I doing? Was I doing 5 pounds? Yeah, every 5 pounds he loses, I was going to print him out with my 3D printer, a Spartan warrior, because he likes like Greek stuff and whatever. Guy's like 10,000% German, but, well, not really. I guess like, you know, like 70% or something. But he likes Spartans, so I was printing him out a Spartan for each like 5 pound milestone, and then at the end he's gonna have like an army, right? Is the idea?
Right.
And well, fires a deadly beam. You know, I do kind of like beams. Let's give it a shot. This is the one that's normally... Oh, beam skeleton, of course. Fires a deadly beam. It's not lifesteal, but... What was the number on that? Is it just 100 on each? Kind of hard to tell, but there's 2 of them. That's not terrible. Oh. So he had a touch of like a backslide or whatever. He's working on getting back to where he was, and his dog. He was updating me on how much, on like what minis he needs now, like where he is in his weight loss and etc. And his dog jumped on the table that he had his army on, ate his dinner, knocked off all of his entire army,
Oh my goodness.
broke a body part on each of them, and
Bad dog.
yeah, really bad dog. And the only one that there's only one that he couldn't repair. Like, he needs a thing reprinted. It was like, so I got to print out a base for him that has the number on it.
Right.
I would have lost my shit.
I
Yeah.
can imagine, yeah.
I would have
gone to bed for a few days.
I would have. Dude, Galaxy, it's me, a Wonder Galaxy. I was drunk and changed my name. Now I have to wait 12 days to change it back.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured.
Most people think it's Lois Lane. They're wrong. Yeah, it doesn't look like Lois Lane. It looks like some kind of like... I mean, it's that kind of like Art Deco era. I don't know who it is, though. It's very, very 50s, very trad. Oh,
Very base.
base? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know how people stand to have like an untrained dog. My dog is like fairly untrained, but he at least doesn't do bad things most of the time, so it's like fine.
I mean, like, he's not excitable, so he's not gonna like really knock over anything
Yeah.
and eat your dinner.
No, he's barely gonna eat his own dinner.
Yeah, he just wants to sleep and get pet.
That can be a problem though, because he likes to nuzzle people, which is very sweet, but he was nuzzling
You gotta complete the puzzle.
yeah, he was nuzzling the back. He'll nuzzle your leg or something, and like it's very cute, but he was doing it while people were on the stairs, right? Which is bad dog behavior. So do I have to like rezone into this room or something?
I gotta be honest, I don't really understand this puzzle, but you know. Yeah. I guess another annoying thing that Gergie does is he'll want to cuddle so badly that he'll like go past all the wires to do so, and he'll be like knocking wires around.
I at some point trained him to not knock over wires.
Yeah.
But then he would
like slams his head into my laptop, which is not very good for laptops.
Yeah.
Because he's like, move that thing out of the way. I want pets.
Like he'd get tangled up in the wires, and it would look very cute, right? Because he'd stop and he'd be like, "Oh no, what do I do?" And it's like it's funny, right? But then my dad would go like, "Oochie goochie goo, you're caught in the wires," and it was like, "Yeah, that's not the thing to do." And then he's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah. I'm too stupid to learn things," and then he would knock over my dad's laptop, and then it'd be like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
So. And then, like, with everything, you know, fuck. You train the... So I guess I'm supposed to, like... do something here? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, can someone explain this puzzle for us, I suppose? I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, it's wrong to ban people from owning pit bulls or something, but so many people are so stupid that it's, you know, it's like, pit bulls, if they're trained well, they're really nice. And it's like...
Did you train them well?
It's like, man, how many people train their dog, though? Like, actually? I've got a Wheaten Terrier, and they're, like, the nicest, like... sweetest little playful thing on the planet. They physically don't have the bite strength to hurt a person, so it's like you have to. And obviously they're an expensive like dog breed, not everyone can have that, but it's just like there's such a it's just such a better idea to just...
Marshall is asking, are you supposed to follow the direction the cross lights up? Well, I don't think you can change the direction.
Yeah, you just get on it and it starts going, so...
Maybe you have to stay on it for a long time? Or does the trident just hit you if you stay on it?
I'll make sure to save state so you don't lose that soul. Alright, yeah, that's fair enough. Also, Casmash was saying, that's why I prefer cats. Cats are 10 times as likely to jump on a table.
Yeah, cats will definitely knock stuff over.
Yeah, eat shit and knock stuff over and, like, cause you so much more property damage than a dog. It's insane that the dog... He has a German Shepherd. It's crazy the German Shepherd jumped on a table.
Yeah, right?
I don't even know. I don't even understand quite how the dog
Yeah,
would...
he probably just means, like, his front paws on the table. Or did he mean completely, like whole body on the table?
I think it was a whole body on the table because everything on the table was like destroyed. So that implies the dog got him, like scrambled onto the table, knocking everything off, and then ate the food that was all the way at the back or something.
Okay.
Which is bad dog behavior. But yeah, it's like it's like Trisha's sister got herself a pit bull.
Yeah.
The dog was like nice and friendly, but it jumped up so hard it broke her tooth, and it's like, I don't know. I've been hit in the mouth by my dog, and it hurts because he's a dog and they have harder bones and stuff, but not hard enough. You know, there's just more force at play. So it's like, if you want a hyper dog that's like very, very friendly, there's a lot of options that are like Wheaten Terrier, for example. But Wheaten Terriers are, expensive. So
There's other sweet dogs that won't kill you.
I know poodles are very similar to Wheaten Terriers, and they seem to have most of the same stuff for like a fourth of the cost, or none, because they end up in like shelters and stuff, because they're a more common dog. Wheaten Terrier's not going into a shelter. they're like $2,000 or something.
Elegant and regal. They are beautiful dogs.
They're physically too cute to end up in the pound. Maybe try to jump briefly off the platform. Yeah.
Just to confirm, no one in chat knows how to solve this puzzle, correct?
Can I hold on, maybe, can I attack the direction that they're telling me? Is that what they want? Do I need to get my own trident?
I don't know. It's so weird. I don't like this puzzle. It's a bad puzzle. Yeah, there was like this one, like, joke comic where like this girl has the alien from the movie Alien as a pet, and she's like, I don't believe in bad aliens, just bad owners. It's like, down, Rocco, and it's like just fucking mauling somebody. Face hugger on her child.
I think the facehuggers are like a different organism.
I thought they laid the eggs and then the facehuggers came out, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a kind of sci-fi concept of like if you had a separate species that laid the eggs for the first species.
Okay.
Like a symbiotic relationship. Not symbiotic. There's a term like symbiotic or parasitic or something like that. It's like one of the traits you can get from some like Stellaris mod was like a third gender that's required for the mating of the other two. And so it lowers your birth rate because that's way harder to coordinate than just getting two people together. It's like a flaw you can choose to get more trait point picks. So maybe dodge the direction it indicates.
I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah, that's probably best. My dog acts like a cat. She kneels and scratches before laying... like stretches, yeah. And before laying down. Also does not like getting her paws wet. Yeah. Xenomorphs are like illithids. Oh, like, Yeah, those are mind flayers where they like abduct people, put a parasite in them that like does whatever. Yeah, a friend of mine was like, "Oh yeah, I went on vacation, and then my dog, or not my dog, my cat was upset that I was gone, so she climbed up on my countertop and started knocking everything off and broke my TV." And she was like, "Oh, she's so cute." It's like, I think you have brain parasites, because you know, there's that whole thing. It was like cats will like give people brain parasites that like make them like them more. It's like you have to really have brain parasites not to be like insanely angry. If Gurgi was like, "Woof woof, I'm sad that you're gone," and then like destroys all of my property, I would destroy him. Actually, he is quite cute.
Okay, it's the side of the platform you need to be on, is what it's indicating. So, like, you go to the left when it points left, and when it points down, you crouch, etc., etc.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
Let me, like, I guess... I thought of that. That's what I tried first. Alright.
It's like inputs that it's trying to...
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like DDR, but with vampires? I pushed up. The fuck do you want?
Yeah. That's what it is.
I don't know why I'm like...
DDR with the vampires. The process of transforming into the mind flare is called ceramorphosis. Facehuggers are what makes the queen alien. If we're talking about xenomorphs, alien queens lay the eggs have the facehugger, and the embryo can turn into a queen or just stay a drone. Three creature making at Chatham is describing the summoning conditionings for Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon.
Ah, yes. The Blue Eyes race. So I guess maybe I'll hold on the input. I don't understand. I did it. Is that not... By some insane metric, is that not fast enough?
I don't.
Chaos Smash fucking writing a comment, reading it, and being like, ah, it was stupid. Deleting it. Oh, okay, you had a spelling error.
Rank the Blue Eyes in Aryan. Yes.
What, is it getting faster and that's not good enough? Christ. Sorry, guys. Watch me play fucking Castlevania... DDR of fucking sorrow.
Ah, Aria of Sorrow. Music. It all makes sense now.
They should do that cringy Star Wars, like, iToy game, but do it for, do it for Castlevania. Oh my god, I'm hitting it, like, as fucking fast as possible. It's, like, such a different speed. I got the save state when I get over there. Aryan isn't really. Aryan isn't really like super. It's not really important. Like the classification is not. It's not really based on like blue eyes. That's more like American propaganda for World War II. God, forgot the fucking save state over here.
Hey, Pyroseer, welcome to chat. We're doing a vampire-style Dance Dance Revolution on the platforms.
Christ.
Alright.
Fuck's sakes. So ridiculous.
Yep. So we got through it. And now you got a ring. Rare ring.
It better be fucking.
Better be fucking good.
Really good. Wow. 2 extra points of luck. What would I do without this? We're talking about Blue Eyes as a Nazi? Okay.
Are we talking about that?
I don't think so.
I think that's just a chat thing.
Yeah. If being Aryan would indicate that you're a Nazi, that would mean that every single white person is a Nazi. Because like the defining genetic feature is that you have some amount of Aryan admixture. Because like 100% of Europe has some amount of Aryan admixture and no other ethnicities do. And that's why it was a... that's why like there was significance put on it. What did I do this? Yeah. Okay. I was thinking like I could just ignore it, but I can't because they're the stone ones. Yeah. So I guess in theory this is supposed to like...
Damn. What a bitch.
I guess... this? If I had enough energy, I could get through with this. Large portion of India is Aryan. Well, not exactly. Go watch Survive the Jive. He can explain it better than me, but India has a caste system. So when you see upper caste Indians, they'll look like Nikki Haley or something. They'll look like much more white. Because people in the lower caste were banned from having kids with Aryans. So it would be like the minority of India. So they'd be like the merchant caste or the priest caste or something. Go with this one. Alright. Let's see if I can do this. I assume these things spawn infinitely. Let's see.
I don't know, have you ever killed all of them in a room before? Man, what a shitty room.
Yeah, the whole blonde hair, blue eyed thing is like it's like U.S. propaganda to make the try to be like, the Nazis want to exterminate you too, like make them seem position the U.S. more like as though Germany would invade and then kill all like Americans or something, to try to broaden their try to imply that their casus belli would be like world domination, like they're gonna go kill everybody.
Do you need to do this room, or is this optional gear that you get?
Definitely optional gear.
Because this is just awful. Did you kill the one-eyed giant? No.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I've heard he has 2 eyes in his phase 2. X-Men's Danger Room has nothing on this. Yeah.
This phase 2 is next game, says Jamie.
This area looks looks shitty. Just my personal opinion. I believe that is in the textbook of yes.
Actually play this game for fun. I mean, this is obviously supposed to be a very difficult room that he's in right now.
Oh, so I can kill these guys in one hit now. That does change things. Because you used to have to hit them like 3 times for them to die. So I could wait for a good pattern. Okay, that's fantastic. Why do we go for... Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Um. Okay. Do I have? Just curious if I could like cheat to figure out what is at the end of this. What do you think of the idea of crystals being sentient? Like a crystal race or something? Eh.
Gimme my pickaxe. Or Honeydew is like, so yeah, we store all the henchmen in this closet.
Yeah.
But you don't really have to do that, room.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. So it's no biggie.
I could like grind to get to a higher level and then do the boss, but I don't know. Try to give the boss another shot. Okay.
Oh, Jamie also adds, you could just potion your way to the end. But that would require using consumables.
Wow. If I was going to cheat to try to get to the end of the level, that would be, you know, both cheating and effective. If only the controls would work, I could just play. It's incredible. Holding up and then pressing fucking an input in order to use a special when you have Y, like, this is on the Game Boy Advance. Didn't they have Y and X? Like, why am I only using A and B? Am I crazy? Like, they had other buttons to use. They just decided, they were like, no, let's use a directional input. Most reliable shit you've ever heard of. So you duck for that. We were talking about other games to play, by the way. And speaking of whatever I didn't read your whole comment. I just saw MCU. It might be nice to play. Sure. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Me and Trisha had a fun time playing that, like, off stream years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it would be fun.
Let's go back. No.
What the guy in the walkthrough does is he just hits him with a big hunk of iron type sword. Like this, like 130 whatever's.
He's probably at a different level than I am. When I switched weapons, it didn't really do anything. Like, super significant.
You don't have any strong weapons, I suppose.
It changed the damage to like 45 from 30 and made it like it just doesn't fucking matter.
Jamie Rose says this boss has 4,000 health.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what Jamie says.
I could try this.
Marshall says, once, some friends and I were staying at a hotel, and they had an X-Men arcade game. We dropped like 200 trying to beat that. Sounds about right.
It's like the one of those Marvel games.
Yeah.
Not Marvel. Is it Rocking Place?
Here says, I thought Castlevania had only Gothic-horror themed creatures, not every creature in the D&D monster manual. Well, this Castlevania does. Every single monster imaginable.
They have way more than the monster manual. Like looking at this game, I get that sense of like, oh, maybe I should pull that out for Adventure League next week.
It's honestly pretty charming.
Yeah, I love
like
the variety and like
the. Very cool.
I mean, like the Neptune guy is so fucking cool.
Yeah, for just the base enemy, just like walking around.
He has like so many attacks and shit. Like you literally could throw that out for like a D&D party and like. Yes, if this guy's 4,000 health, I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to go do something else first.
Says the only problem I have with X-Men Arcade, at least the NA version, is that the super move eats your health. That's probably why you spent so much money. Yeah.
Oh, I had to push the button. Okay, that must be what that activates. Is this?
Here asks, question, are you getting more mad at the Netflix adaptation every minute?
No, because I'm not watching it. Like, what actual, like, to be like, oh, so they raped the protagonist?
Imagine being, like, a games journalist or whatever, playing the Castlevania game, getting so mad that you can't beat it and being like, I want to write a story where this guy gets raped in the ass.
Yeah. In the missionary position, by the way, which is the most fucking bizarre shit I've heard. Of all the deranged things to write into your story, that's like so strange. And then it's like, and then he'll be gay, and I'll have really gotten some inclusion done in my story. Okay. I have to know if this is actually worth it, so we're going to open up Cheat Engine, and I'm going to find out. Okay. Because I just don't fucking want to do this unless it's something actually good. So we're going to find out if it is something good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
So first scan, what is my health? 644. Okay. We're looking for 644. First scan, next scan. Wow, there's not a lot of values that are 44. Okay, now let's change that value to something else. Okay, alright. 437. Let's see how many things are 437. Next scan. Okay, there's just one thing, so that's my health. Alright. 2,000. Oh no, we probably shouldn't do something stupid. 999. Okay. And we're gonna lock it at that value. It didn't change anything. Yeah, they did not change anything. Okay. 644. New scan. First scan. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've heard many strange things about a Baldur's Gate 3, Jamie. I will literally believe anything sexual you tell me about that game.
What the fuck? Alright. Limited HP. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay. Go here. Go back to where I was. Why is that? Tools. List cheats.
The game is good, but it's clear whoever wrote it was too fucking horny. Yeah, you need a based mod to just completely change the entire script and just put in new cutscenes and everything, but keep whatever good gameplay the same.
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for like some base mods to fix that. I own it, so it's not like I can like boycott it, right? But
it's so fucking bizarre because it's like it's become a porn game with how much it's just in your face with all the weird sexual shit.
okay, so there's a sword at the end of this.
Oh.
Balmung.
That
What does
could be
Balmung do?
Sword.
Okay, so it looks like it's a lot of damage.
Oh, it's big.
Okay, so that would be how you would do it, right? Because if that does that much damage and it's that fast of an attack, that'll probably be my weapon whenever I mean, that'll probably just become my weapon, because it's as far as the whip sword seems about as fast. Even if it isn't as cool as a whip sword, it is obviously more effective, so. Okay, let's take off my infinite health and I'll go try and do that. God help me.
God help him.
Okay, uncheck the box. Is that enough? Will that un-infinite my health? Yeah. Okay. You can fuck a mind flayer? What?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
You know, like they were saying, man, just way too fucking horny. Just like, I can imagine, like, the creatures writing that game are just, like, touching themselves while they're writing the script and everything. They're like, and I want to be able to fuck the ogres and fuck the bears and I know, Gertie. I've never heard him make that noise before, but it was perfectly timed. Hey, Gabe. Welcome to chat. Sorry you came at a very weird time.
If you really think Baldur's Gate 3 is a porn game, then I think you are politically captured. Same arguments were made when Mass Effect 1 came out. So, the issue is not that you can do weird sex things in an RPG. The issue is that the narrative position of a company who is having its writers put in such weird sex things, it implies that the company's, like, their morality as a company, like their understanding of what the good options would be, are going to be wildly skewed. So, like, if you can have sex with a guy who is a druid or whatever, and he turns into a bear to have sex, and that's not like
that's not pro-bestiality
that's
somehow.
Yeah, that's not an evil act, then you can expect the rest of the game to be quite confused morally. And if you're able to fuck a Mind Flayer, it's probably because the Mind Flayer is supposed to be a sympathetic character. I haven't seen the scene, but it's like Mind Flayers are an evil race. That concept is, like, quote unquote problematic, but Mind Flayers exist to specifically feed on the brains of intelligent creatures. I think in certain editions it was better if it was an intelligent good creature, like you'd get more nutrients or something. So they're specifically designed to be evil. To do the thing where it's like, no, the only villain we can have in our whatever is the leader of some church that's secretly evil and corrupt or something. Man, I knew I was gonna get hit by that, but the fucking...
Same arguments were made when having sex with aliens in Mass Effect. Well,
that is also weird. People who like fetishize like blue aliens or whatever aliens, that is not healthy. It's not good. I've never really thought that was a good thing. I've always thought that was very strange. Especially like the Asari don't have hair; they have tentacles on their head. Even their lore is like they are like psychically tricking you into being attracted to them, and it's interesting. They have an interesting lore, like whatever. But to be a person understanding what their lore is and like what it's supposed to be kind of like they're like turning on the fetish sensors of your brain to like make you think that they're attractive. And then to, as an actual person playing the game, be attracted to them, it's like, it's odd. They don't have hair, they have tentacles that like kind of looks like hair. I thought I got turned to stone. And then they can't bear you children, but you can have kids with them by using your genetic material to randomize theirs. And then, like, the whole... Then, as a race, they have banned non-interracial sex. You can... As a society, the Asari believe that it should be... It is a crime for two Asari to fall in love and have children. Ability to stop in midair.
Okay.
I'll have to farm that later. I literally am just gonna fucking die.
Jamie Rose says, in regards to Mass Effect 1, those arguments were made in bad faith and the network in question walked it back. Baldur's Gate 3, on the other hand, wears its rock-hard cock on its sleeve.
Rock-hard bear cock? Okay, shit.
Yeah, the bear cock.
Like the narrative position of like the whole Asari as a concept is like supremely cucked. They're like, if our race has babies with itself, they'll all be inbred psychic vampires who will kill you if you have sex with them. So it's not safe for Asari to have sex amongst their own race. They have to have interracial sex, otherwise it would be a ruinous thing. And people who have kids with the Asari none of their genetic material goes into those kids. It's like Asari go out and then lower the birth rate of other races while producing more Asaris with zero actual genetic input from other races, but they can breed with like any race. That is it's an interesting but very odd concept. And I think people who are like, that's not good, are not crazy.
Matthew Atkinson says, I've seen part of the cutscene, and the Mind Flayer didn't seem sympathetic, but to be fair, it was a brief clip, and I didn't see all the context. Well, shouldn't seem sympathetic. That's
okay. Weird. We're gonna actually use some items to get through this, because fuck this section. I'm gonna actually save in the menu.
Woo!
So I can.
Yeah, Gabe the Gen also said, could use the Death Soul to make it easier to get through that. Alternative is finding the Chrono Mage Soul. Death Soul can help though.
Okay, let's try this.
If you really think Baldur's Gate 3 is just porn all the time, then you are brainwashed. Never said that. I said, at what point does it just become a porn game? I think, in general, people shouldn't get just addicted to seeing sex stuff all the time and thinking that that makes something more adult or anything.
I'm also not against the ability to have sex in a game, and I don't think.
I've played dating sims for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no. I also think it's. I think it's like characterizing wise and stuff. It's a good thing to have your characters able. I really like Dragon Age, Dragon Age 1, and Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games. Mass Effect 3, I just got fucking bored. I don't know. Not Mass Effect 3. I got just bored in Mass Effect 1. I don't know. I think, ironically, it was the gun selection, and I'm not like a big shooty game guy, but I think it was just the gun selection that like made me bored, because when I played Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 2, the first thing I did was, can I like not get hit as soon as I load in? Oh, I don't have my thing equipped.
I also think it's weird just to say you are brainwashed. Like, by who? Nobody told me to say that.
Yeah. I played some of Baldur's Gate 3. It was fine. I enjoyed it for the most part. Mainly why I stopped messing around in it is because like, how many campaigns do I have to play that only get to level 5? Or don't even reach level 5, rather. That get stopped at level 4? How much D&D can I play where I stop at level 4? Because it's like so many campaigns die before, because that's initially for the longest time you couldn't go above level 4 because that was the demo or whatever. It was like stopping at level 4. So I played all the demo, and then I tried out like a fighter, and I tried out a rogue, and then I was like, God, this is actually awful, because in real life I've played way too many sessions at levels 1 through 4. It is.
I also remember you like talking shit about the romance options, like the only human you can romance is like a bitch to you or something.
I might have been talking about Pathfinder, but they're very similar.
Okay.
Okay, what's my up special? I think it's a good thing to have romance available in an RPG, and to have
yeah, of course.
and even to have sex be a part of that. And to be fair, they wanted to add all sorts of crazy options on both ends of the spectrum. So I could certainly be wrong, but I just don't need an RPG bad enough that I'm willing to go and give it a shot. I rather hear what people say before I like jump in and give it a shot, because it probably isn't like something that would like put me in a super good mood. Like, one of the things they said was, like, when you play the demo, you should do all the evil options. Because they added so many evil options, and people typically play the good characters. Maybe I should just, like, not try to kill the Valkyrie. It's just, like, it hides off screen.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's an Arini's. Oh, we really are pulling out the D&D monster manual. Is that even like a... I don't think I've heard that term outside of D&D. I don't know if that makes me a demon casual.
Mass Effect 1 is dull. There's very little different in the dungeons, and the equipment sucked, and the vehicle handles like a shopping cart with 3 blown wheels carrying a fucking walrus.
Yeah. It was also, like... I liked some of the lore and stuff. Like, the car you drive around in has a gyroscope in it. That's why you can't flip over. Because they didn't want to have to make mechanics for you to flip your car back on straight. So literally, the car can't go on its back. It always rights itself because there's a gyroscope in the center that's, like, powerful enough. When you throw up a gyroscope, which is, like, several interlocking... Oh, it's actually the fidget toy that I make with all the rings inside itself. It's like that, but, like, electronically powered so they all spin. They're all spinning different directions, and it causes lots of, like, resistance in the air because it's spinning like that. Kind of like when you have a fan going, and you can feel a different resistance when you're rotating the fan versus, like, moving it up and down. But if you do it every direction, it just resists all motion. So, but the other function of it, other than resisting motion, is that it would keep you from flipping, right? Because for whatever reason, when you throw a gyroscope up, no matter how you throw it, it always reorients to a particular orientation. It's interesting that it would keep you from flipping, but it would also slow down the car significantly because you have a gyroscope running all the time, and that slows down motion. I think it would anyway, but I don't know. So, and then I liked the 3D printing that or the fabrication or whatever, where you get a license to print a certain design of gun. So instead of buying guns, you buy, like, the 3D printer files, and then you go back to your ship and you print out whatever guns you want. So there's, like, some cool sci-fi stuff in the first game, and I liked the overheating. I liked how you could switch after you overheated or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I got real goddamn bored of the gameplay and the story and everything. So. Yeah, I think it's just, like, literally... Oh my god. This is just like 1 damage. Am I trying to grind Medusas?
These...
Not really, I'm just bad. I was like trying to...
These fucking enemies are the worst, just for being annoying.
I was just trying to like think my way out of the situation, seeing if I could like control the environment, but as it turns out I cannot control the environment, I cannot think my way out of the situation. Okay. Oh, they turned the direction of the fucking... Why?
Pain.
Okay. I simuled the fucking piece of shit. I think I unlocked the stupid Medusa power and I did that too. Jesus Christ. Just fucking bring me back. Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah, Jamie says no one likes Castlevania Medusas. That goes all the way back to the first game. Gabe the Gen says, use the Death Soul in Obi-Wan Kenobi voice.
The Death Soul?
Yeah, that's what he was recommending for this room.
Okay.
Helps get the Medusa heads.
Wait. Oh, this is that thing. Oh, I'm toggling it on and off. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me... I believe you.
Alright.
That makes sense. Okay.
Hey, Gil. Welcome to chat.
Did I do this one? No, was it this one? Okay. I'm like trying to think, like, do I slide, jump into the other hitbox? Like, oh my god. I believed. I believed in the heart of the fucking sickles too much. Alright.
Yeah, those fucking...
It's just that fucking spawn is such cancer.
Those are Medusa heads? I thought they were like evil fish. Yeah, they're Medusa heads.
Ugh.
Just the head. Nothing else. Gabe the Gen says, take it bit by bit.
Okay, let me just go back.
And you might as well use a healing potion to get through that. Gil says, I came to let you know that the new Spider-Man 2 game has a number of sickening woke BS shoved in it. Yeah, I kind of imagined.
Well, if you need help with that, there's a site called basedmods.ether or something. I put it in the Gilded server, I think. I think I posted it in general, but I guess I should have like a links, like a useful links channel. Okay. Finally, silence. Oh my god. Okay. Well, do I need a potion?
Maybe.
I'm gonna say yes. Not equip. We need item use. Restores all HP. Alright, let's calm down. A strawberry. Oh, it doesn't tell you how much, but they're just like, yeah. Fuck my ass. Nope. Nope. Don't.
Hey, it's not the Netflix Castlevania, so that's not gonna be happening anytime soon.
Ah, that's, yeah. Oh.
The thing about mixing up the Puerto Rican flag with the Cuban flag in that game cracked me up. Lamau.
I'm proud of myself. I managed to talk about Mass Effect without going on a tirade about how Mass Effect 3 is like the greatest cancer to mankind. I won't do it. That is terrible. It's a horrible game, and
it's bad, and they should feel bad.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Yes.
Like, the writing in that is so... I would say the least egregious part of the writing in that game was adding a Jersey Shore character to the game. It's like the least horrific part of that.
Oh, wow. That is quite shocking to hear.
Yeah. Okay, this is why we save. This is why we have This is why we have save states. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, nope. You fucking bitch. Okay. There it is. I should have saved. I should have saved this. I should have fucking called my mom to tell her that I got past that fucking piece of shit. Okay. We're gonna save. Or we're gonna use some strawberries, okay? And we're gonna invest in this, okay? Different save slot. I'm not crazy, but we got this, okay? I'm gonna quit out. I'm gonna jump. Oh, come on, jump, you fucking slut! All right, no. We're gonna do that again. All right, it's okay, it's okay. Fuck, perfect. You. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. It's okay. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We're back. Just gonna go, I have to go update my resume.
There's one soul that allows you to eat rotten meat safely. I think it's one of the zombie souls. That's kind of interesting, I gotta say. That's kind of a little clever mechanic. So that you can heal from rotten meat using zombie powers. Yeah, okay. Currently grinding for money. My hurting myself. Not kidding with that one. By hurting myself. That makes more sense. Hey, the pharmacist. Welcome to chat. Doing some more Castlevania fun. Maybe we'll beat the One-Eyed Giant, or maybe we'll save that for next stream. But for now, we've been getting through some of these special fun secret rooms and getting the prizes on the other end of them. No, it really does. Bryce, that's why my 3 teaser post-credit wasn't Spider-Gwen, but instead Silk, a girl that got bit by the same exact spider as Peter that day. You know, I always just assumed that somebody, like, stepped on the spider after biting Peter. I mean, because it seems like spiders shouldn't really live for that long, even if they are super radioactive spiders. But, yeah, no.
Spiders living for a long time?
Well, it's like Silk getting bit by the same exact spider that Peter got bit by, and it's like, well,
Who's Silk?
another superhero character
Like-
with spider powers.
I assume
Yeah.
black woman?
Uh, Relax. Chill out.
Am I? Well, I just.
No, Asian woman, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think. Is she Asian? He has like a romance with her in one of the newer comics.
oh Christ.
And apparently it has something to do with spider pheromones attracting them to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I don't get too excited about this plot development.
That's the worst thing I've heard since internet gas.
Internet gas? Did someone get their powers from internet gas?
Oh my god, you don't remember Marvel New Warriors? It got canceled.
Dude.
They didn't end up going through with it, but that was real.
Dude, I don't read comics of stuff that's gonna be obviously bad.
Yeah.
Remember, I've never experienced it.
I mean, it exploded online, got a ton of backlash, and they just silently canceled it and pretended like it never happened.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
that was the group of heroes with Snowflake and Safe Space.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, you're totally within your rights to enjoy something that I don't enjoy without, like without like you don't have to care about my opinion on like a particular game or whatever. And I will at some point probably play Baldur's Gate, but I'll probably wait for some mods that would make a Nexus moderator cry. To play it, I'll probably play it in like multiplayer and stuff. So.
Are you doing the DDR room again?
Just to get some health.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. Game of the Gen, you weren't here for that, but we already did this room. So no worries.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you know this game, so you don't have to. But I guess I just have to wait for my magic to regen. But yeah, no, if you like a thing, I don't want to like upset you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna not say my opinion. One of the super nice like artists at PoochieCon was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch your stream," but she's gonna like if
she's gonna get a couple of super based bombs unexpectedly and be like, "Whoa!"
She's gonna think I'm a fucking unhinged.
What is the most base thing that we've said for this stream in general?
I don't want to like.
The fucking chat being unhinged, talking about Blue Eyes Hitler.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. This nice Asian girl is gonna be like watching the stream. Is gonna be listening to the stream while she like draws.
Yeah, she's
whatever.
like drawing some beautiful dark fantasy art, and then in the stream she just fucking hears about the Baldur's Gate 3 sex scenes.
Fucking a mind flare.
Based bombs, yeah.
I could see like now that I'm like got my like gears turning, I could think of a couple ways that you could do a mind flare having sex with someone without it being like too terrible. Like you could have some kind of way of like lobotomizing them and then like swapping in a brain or something, so then you're controlled, so it's like a normal person controlling a mind flare body or something of that sort, because there is like mind transfer spells in D&D, something like that, so it could happen. It is odd though. I don't know. lots of a very hentai concept.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, if you're like an evil character, I guess it makes some sense. But, yeah. When did, for each of you, when did DC and Marvel die? Like, what was the moments for each that you went like, this is just bad fanfic? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I feel like I gave up on Marvel and DC like a while ago. I started to feel like everything was just like weird and like corrupted, and I didn't really have the vocabulary for it. Like I didn't really, I didn't understand that there was like a political thing. I just thought stuff was just bad, and I don't know.
I was just always under the impression that things were slowly getting worse, but I didn't understand why. Like, I didn't understand why the shows I watched when I was a kid were so good, and they still held up. But then, like, the new shows are just bad.
People would say, like, nostalgia and whatever, and it's like, well... No. That's, like, an effect until you rewatch it.
It's like, even if you watch a super old Disney movie that you've never seen before, it's still better, and you'll have no nostalgia for it, because you never saw it before, but it's still better.
Yeah. The video I did about Shadiversity and who's the other guy? Scala Gladiator was the other guy's name. The video I did about that, I think, more concisely expresses my sort of feelings on that sort of aspect of it. I think when I had stopped reading Marvel Comics, and then the moment where because I went in and I wanted to get an X-Force comic, and then I was like, because I just thought that team was so cool, you know? And I'm like asking for X-Men recommendations, and I'm getting X-Men recommendations from the owner, and I was like, is it good? You know? And then he's like uncomfortable, and I was like, well, but like, is it good? And I'm like trying to describe the stuff that makes it bad, and he's getting uncomfortable, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like trying to, yeah, and like because I read one X-Men X-Force comic, which I think I must have skipped it. It was because it was an earlier one, but it was the last one I read. Was they go into a church and kill all these Christians who are like extremists, quote unquote, and they're removing angels' wings or whatever. They're like surgically removing them, whatever. And it was just kind of weird seeing them like shoot up a church and have that be. And they're like, but they're like evil Christian people. And it was like, but they didn't have like the normal superhero thing where they were like give up, and then they would get some extra justification to like beat them up. It was like these were like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It was like they were assuming these guys were like evil, born evil. There was no reasoning. They're in the middle of like worshiping, right? And then they attack them, and they like shoot fire grenades and stuff. And it was like it's a bit odd, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't. It's like I only got excited when they were fighting like the robot later in the same comic, and there was some cool stuff there, but yeah, it was. So I wanted to, and then I realized no matter what he was recommending, I just couldn't believe it would be good, and I couldn't really explain why, and I just ended up not buying anything, and that was the last time I even like thought about buying comics. And then they announced the Captain America was like dead and now black, and Thor was a woman, and I was like, well, Thor's not a woman. Like someone picked up the hammer and they're calling that Thor? That's not Thor. Thor is that guy, like, I know it's like Donald Blake or whatever, and then he picks up a hammer and he's Thor, but so only he could be Thor. Really, like, quote unquote Thor. Because you're mixing this like noble doctor who's very timid with the sort of brutish war god, not war god, but you know what I mean, like this brutish character of Thor. You're putting them together, and then you get Thor, the superhero, spelled the same, pronounced the same, but it's a different entity. This is like the hero when they combine, when those two aspects of like, you know, sort of like the werewolf concept with men. It's like a gentle, nurturing, loving man who has the capability to be super brutal and kill your enemies and protect and conquer and whatever. And so you combine those two aspects of man, and then that becomes the hero Thor. And that's like, you know, it's you know, quote unquote tales all his time. It's a very popular and common concept. So that is an important, that when you say Thor as the Marvel character, you're talking about that particular fusion of those two personalities. You're making the perfect man by combining the, you know, he's a doctor, he's as nurturing as you could be, plus like conquering, hammer wielding, you know, Norse god or pagan god, Germanic god, whatever you want to call it. And so to call this woman Thor, it would be like, not, she's not, because she's not Donald Blake. You're only Thor if you're Donald Blake plus the god. So it was just wrong, and then people would be like, you're, you know, a bigot or whatever. We were complaining about something like Marvel, or I was complaining about something Marvel, and then someone who worked at the comic shop was like, you know, that's going to be what they do for the movies. And I was like, do you think I would watch those garbage movies? Why would I care? And he was like, oh, like the rug had been pulled out from under him, like the floor just disappeared. It's like, why would I care what they do in movies? It's like, I'm not gonna watch those. So it was that moment where like everybody was sort of, I just forgot I still have the sides. Do I want the sides? Doesn't matter, does it? I'm probably not going to use the vacuum. I probably shouldn't use the vacuum anyway. Yeah, I think the sides are probably, yeah. Sides a bad idea. I may not do that. Yeah, let me start off good.
We're at 12:30, by the way, if you're in the time check.
Okay. Yeah. This guy really has 4,000 health. We're gonna be here for a while. Me. Oh, no. Let's hold not crouch, but I guess. Ah, God. Yeah, I just started off bad.
No worries. The Wool Counter, all new, all different Marvel. It all flopped so hard, lost classic readers, and didn't get a new one. It's also what Phase 4, 5, and 6 are based on. Yeah, Disney skipped right to it. Correct.
Yeah, when he's like doing the slam down, I only have like a backwards dodge, and I don't want to be in this corner, so I'm not really super clear on like what I should be doing too. I guess the slide is my dodge. Oh, and when I'm over here, it doesn't count as... I think you're under-leveled for this fight.
Damn big ass fists. To be fair, what would be the best way of leveling up, if that is a true...
I wouldn't mind, like, grinding,
Yeah.
if you guys wanted to watch grinding. But I wouldn't want to torture you guys either. Also, I guess I shouldn't be, like, worrying about someone thinking I'm not woke enough on stream. I don't mean to, like, demoralize you or, like, think that you guys should, or make you guys think that you should be worried about it. So you really shouldn't. It's a stupid fear to have because, like, you know, largely in life you're gonna want people that sort of align with your values. Oh, yeah. Alright, so what was the save outside? That was that one.
Yeah, Chaos Mesh says, I don't mind. Eric says, grind away at him.
Okay. Well, who gives the most experience, I guess?
Yeah, that's the better question to ask. Like, where's a good grinding spot?
You dirty slut. Oh, there we go. These guys are relatively, like... I was not quite on screen, so I could deal damage but not heal from them.
Yeah, the Legend says, perhaps the area past the waterfall may be resourceful. Pharmacist says, I'm glad to see you guys branching out from Dark Souls. That game with the Grim Reaper a few days ago or whatever looked fun. It wasn't.
It looks fun, though.
It looks fun, yeah. The visuals are very pretty. It's all, like, animated nicely. If it were a TV show, I'd watch it. But, you know, if as a game, can't say that I have fun playing it.
I gotta say, this is the first time in a very, very long time I've run into a boss where I was like, I must actually level up for this. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I should level up because this isn't...
Game the Gen also adds the Aranus Soul gives you more experience if you can get it.
Ah. Yeah, you know, I guess like progressing through that area sounds terrible, but
I have with the Grim Reaper game is like it's a Souls-like gambling moveset. So like it's super random what moves you get
Okay, so that's...
for playing.
Trisha's just describing, like, a roguelite.
Well, I said roguelike at the beginning.
I thought you said...
It's a roguelike gambling.
I don't think that's what you said. I thought you said a Souls-like.
No, I didn't say that. Although I guess they sound similar. I wish it was a Souls-like. Then it would be better.
Yeah, I don't think I can farm the Arinyes in that spot. Let's fucking chill, dude. I'm trying to save. Ability to swap HP and MP of enemies? God, that's probably like insta-kills some boss somewhere and is good for nothing else. Dirty Slore. Oh, right, you can't seed them.
Fucking shield enemies.
So, I don't quite remember where the waterfall is, but I suppose we can find out together.
Here the Jen says Killer Mantle's helpful with some enemies.
Where am I even going? I don't actually know.
It's for grinding enemies. Oh wait, you still need that curly soul to get past that waterfall. Good night, Galaxy.
Yeah, good night.
We're gonna be getting to bed soon ourselves. Oh, nice.
That would have helped earlier.
Yeah.
I imagine it might help again sometime. Did you fucking... Jesus Christ, die!
For our sins.
Blocking mail?
Dave the Gen also added the water areas to the east.
Yeah, I remember that much. Are you saying don't go?
How do you like them apples?
Someone to lock her up.
There you go. You got a teleporting thingy with you.
Well. Applesauce, bitch. Did you say Dirty Slore? Yeah. It's a conjunction of two words.
Slow lore.
Yeah. You ever get like a lore dump, but it's really slow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like every page of Hunter x Hunter.
Soma is a Spanish K-pop star. By contract, he can't have sins. What?
I think Piracy is shooting the shit in the chat.
But like, did they put in his contract, you cannot sin?
No, I don't think so. I think he's joking.
Like I could understand. It's like, oh, you can't have like adulterous affairs. You can't have a girlfriend. You have to like be, this like perfect boyfriend dream. So the girls keep on buying your merch and they keep on shouting at the concerts and hoping that you'll date them or something. It's like I understand that. But if they like at the contract signing, they're like, you cannot sin. Hand him a Bible, and they're like, we're really glad to be working with you, Soma.
Oh, man. Just bring out the whip. 20 lashes for each sin.
I respect it. Like, I that would be a really funny thing to do for a contract. But,
yeah, Piracy confirms. I'm just fucking around with K-pop culture. They have to be saints by corporate standards.
I knew I was gonna get hit, and I was just like...
Yeah, I felt it. I felt it in your soul. I was there. So what level should we be to fight the One-Eyed Giant?
That's a good question.
Because then we'll know what goal to actually be aiming towards. Game the Gen says Curlies can be found in that area where you fought that thing with the multiple heads, and the Chrono Mage can also be found there.
Oh, really?
Right.
Interesting. Keep your filthy 1 damage paws off of me.
Game the Gen says probably level 40. What level are we now?
Like 31 or 2.
Well, you can chat.
I could. You are correct. I could check. These guys are so cool. All the enemies in this game are like so inspired, so cool. Their actual mechanics, I don't know if I'm quite as glowing about, but they look cool. Yeah, I have to stay like relatively close so they don't go into the other zone. These guys have like another hitbox that wastes the apple, so.
Yeah.
Guess I got to water or something. You 1 damage dealing motherfucker.
Oh god. Pain.
That gives me like no health. Area where I thought the thing with multiple heads. I guess it's kind of like heads.
game does have a lot of cool enemies. I can give it that. Game the Gen says, forget the waterfall for now. Go get the souls I mentioned.
Yes.
The curly.
Your statement assumes that I know where to get any of them. Oh fuck.
You fought that thing with the multiple heads. That is not very specific.
Nope, nope. Nope. Okay, so I am just meant to have...
Got
Merman. You'd hope a merman would look more attractive than that.
Game of the Gen says, if you look at the map, the areas to the north, believe it's called inner quarters.
Okay, so if I go up the shaft that's over there... What is over here, though? Because it looks like I never properly explored. Fuck. Forgot that that was gonna fuck me over. Okay, I haven't gone up. Oh, no!
No! Ah, that's a fucking situationship right there.
Okay.
Use a warp room to save time. How far away are we from a warp room?
Nope.
Man, the physics.
Is it smart to save now? Probably not. Let's do it anyway. Ha.
Why, hello there.
His hand is like a hitbox, right?
Yes.
Without even reading chat, I know. You want me to eat the melons? Oh my god, melons are a lot of health.
Nice. Anyone see that trailer for the new Dragon Ball Daima series? It literally starts with every character aged down to children. Ah yes, the best arc. When everyone becomes a child. That is definitely something that Adam will be skipping.
Yeah, it's always like... Just like, let me just like add all the chibi into everything. Don't you want to sell plushies, fans? What's going on here? Okay. Who's shooting that like energy blast? Was it like one full... You gonna leave the map? You dirty slore, okay.
Gave the Jen says, reception seems positive, though. Yes, well, each person has their own tastes, I suppose.
I'm like a radical anti-Cheebist.
Anti-Cheebist.
Oh, did I get 2? Oh. Farm the soul. Just dropping the sword on him.
Just body slam with a sword.
Oh my god, that is not at all what I wanted. So poison seems to like reduce the damage I deal instead of actually degrade my health. More like food poisoning than venom. Alright. It looks like we're mostly out of time.
Yeah. It looks like we should start be thinking about a happy story.
Yes.
And wrap up the stream.
Oh, well I had an unhappy story.
Well, you don't need to hear an unhappy story.
Yeah. I have to remember to tell it though, because it's interesting. It's really interesting. It's not a happy story. It was that guy, the photographer guy.
Right.
It's really interesting. It's just
not very happy.
No, it's not happy. It's not like super unhappy necessarily, but
it could be worse.
Well, yeah.
Piracy says if it's funny, it counts. It's not that funny either. Just interesting.
You know what? I'll tell it, and then hopefully I'll think of a better story.
Okay.
Okay. So this guy, right? He was like, oh, I'm going to cons or whatever, and then
Photographer.
yeah, right.
Got his camera with him.
He's like, oh, I might go to this con, go to that con. I was like, oh, you go to a lot of cons, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, oh, do you have any recommendations? Blah blah. And he was like, well, I was trying to find cons that aren't so like toxic, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting, you know. So I like prodded him on to elaborate, and so he did, and he was like, essentially, he paints this picture of this situation, this his like general situation of like his life, which is like do I go north from here? Damn, I have to do the one that makes you stand on the water. You know, I'm just going to go back to the vacuum cleaner because I'll remember how to use it. Even if it's like less cost efficient. So he paints this picture of he like goes to cons and then he's like trying to go to cons that are further away because he has people that are like essentially they accuse him of being they like Me Too him, right?
Yeah.
They accuse him of being a creep. And the guy is very normal. He's not he looks Good thing I leveled up.
So the guy talks very normal. He seems pretty reasonable, but he has a weak chin.
Yeah, and like if this guy, by some miracle, is like listening to this very small stream, I would be shocked. But if he is, chew mastic gum, because he has a very
Mastic gum from Cheetos.
He's not that fat, but like all of his weight is like going into his neck, and he's got a weak chin, and so he doesn't look very, very handsome. If he like cut down like if he leaned up in his diet and chewed some mastic gum, he could have a perfectly adequate jaw. But he has an extremely weak jaw, and it makes him look rather odd, not very attractive at all. And I think that is why these people would report him, because talking to him, you talk to a lot of weird people. Someone seems normal, you start talking about one of these cons, and then they're like clearly mentally not all there, right? This guy, totally there. He's very reasonable, socially fairly intelligent, right? Like he does well in a conversation. It's not awkward at all, even, like, right? But he looks weird. He looks like a weirdo, and Trisha hit the nail on the head. Trisha was like, well, some people are like clout chasing, and so they'll report people for whatever just so they can like play the victim and get that popularity, that sympathy vote. Especially when their numbers start to drop, because he's a photographer for girls who do cosplay, and within that sphere, numbers matter. No, I can't get over here, can I? But the map seems to... Oh, no. Okay. I see. So.
Gabe the Gen says, it's further up, the floating gardens won't take you there.
Wait, who are you talking about? It was a guy that we met at the con, and he was talking about how he's getting like Me Too'd all the time, and he's like, all these people have like all this stuff against me, blah blah blah. And there's a couple like elements to his story which seem reasonable. He doesn't do photography as his main job, but he does take it seriously and consider himself a photographer, right? But he doesn't care about the money so much. He wants to get paid because he is a photographer, but he charges like half of the normal rate, and he is equivalent quality to like the next person.
Right. So people get a little bit upset thinking that he's trying to undercut them.
And so what they're doing, right, is like reporting, is like spreading stories about him being a creep.
Well, yeah.
And then girls will try and come up with some kind of reason. We're like, well, I guess there was that one time you wanted to take pictures of me in my like sexy nurse cosplay. And he's like, yeah, because you're wearing it and you don't have pictures of it, and I am a photographer. This is all like normal things to do. And it's like they're just coming up with reasons to have something against me.
He's like trying to approach people for like business, you know?
And he was banned from a Discord recently because someone asked for a photographer, and then he said he was a photographer, he could take pictures. And they banned him for being creepy, offering to take pictures of them. He's an easy victim for it because he looks kind of weird. But it's a very fixable thing. He could just chew mastic gum. Or eat lots of steak. Or chew gum, any gum, all the time.
Or just not take pictures of thoughts.
Yeah. And you know what? He gave me his business card, and I looked at it, like, not when he handed it to me, I didn't really look at it. I looked at it later. His business card has exactly the types of people that you would expect to, like, report him for this stuff, and it's totally understandable. I can, as soon as I see the business card and these are the kind of people he associates with, of course these are the kind of people that would try to ruin your life if you're a straight white male. It's like the one all the way on the left is a man, right, dressed up as a woman, and then the one over is probably also a man, and the third one over I think was like a fat girl, then there's like a normal looking girl, right? And they're all kind of, they just have that certain kind of look about them where you're like,
have the SJW energy.
Yeah, like as soon as I see them, I think danger, and he doesn't because he's a fool.
Yeah,
but
well,
now
he has not learned the way.
And he's like, he's talking about it, and he doesn't like really quite see it. I don't think he.
I don't know. He like name dropped cancel culture, but he didn't really go any further than that as far as like based talk.
I think cancel culture is the modern day, is like the current equivalent of divide and conquer, where like people use it all the time because they're like, getting canceled, that's cancel culture. And like, yeah, like vaguely, right? But like when people say divide and conquer, it's like a coin flip, shreds enemies to bits with a spinning disc. It's not just throws katana, it's like fucking eviscerates them, bro. Yeah, I don't know if that means anything that he said cancel culture, because he's like getting canceled. He's like cancel culture, right? There was an item.
There was an item?
Yeah, he dropped a thing. Wow.
Maybe you need more luck.
I have to know what the armor was, guys. I'm sorry. I know this guy isn't giving me a lot of experience. Oh, astounding amount of destructive. It just says astounding amount of destructive power.
That sounds cool.
That's it. It cost 80. All right. Well, let's see how.
Wow, that is an astounding amount of destructive power.
1 in chat if you're astounded. Man, having it be 30 instead of 29 is like such a difference. It feels so good.
Man, those like little waterfall windows, whatever they are, look so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Some of the
fucking glowing eyes and everything.
Yeah, some of the backgrounds in this game are so cool. 5? Is that an increased
increased number of astoundedness?
Is that more astounded, or is that like it's like I want to speak to the operator? Yeah, that looked like armor. It was armor. I gotta know what kind of armor it was. I gotta know what I missed out on and then not miss out on it because I'll pick it up.
By the way, time check, it's 108.
Okay, so we'll pause here so that I'll know I have the right save.
Alright.
Now, do I have an actual happy story? No, it was really interesting talking to that guy though. I there's something about it that was so like compelling. I looked it up, it was trash. I'll believe you and move on.
There you go.
Man, look at the coat sway. In, just a little like pixelated, whatever. Classic stream chat intentionally giving a different number. Yeah. Speaking of profile pictures, Never, what is your profile picture? It looks like some kind of like furry Pokemon or something. Like a pig? Like a blue pig?
I thought it was some sort of monster.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
Had plus 31 defense, it seems. What's my armor give? Oh, I guess that's... not as much defense as my suit. Oh, it's the Goof Custom from Gundam 8th MS stream. Goof Custom. Oh, it's like a sick robot? Ah, man, this is actually kind of fucking cool.
Not too shabby, neither.
Should do it. Yeah, that looks really fucking cool. We should do like a profile picture tier list because, you know, this looks really cool, but somehow when it's scrunched down into your profile picture, it doesn't look nearly as cool. Aura Honeydew is like very recognizable. Can't even understand what Jamie Rose's is.
It's a black and white picture of a girl. I think it's Black Cat. I don't know. It gets too pixelated to really see it, but I can see
Too
that
tiny.
It's a gal.
It's an elbow. It's a floating elbow. Yeah. Anyway, I don't really have it. I'm really fascinated by that encounter with that guy. It's kind of his own fault though. Like the people that he's associating with, where he's like, I just want to have fun, hang out with people, and it's like, that's a good goal, but like in life, you should be a little bit discerning with like who you associate with, because those sorts of people, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, he also described a few, like, situations in which he kind of let people take advantage of him and then throw him under the bus.
Yeah, and, like, yeah, like, he was like, oh, I'll give, you know. He was describing people saying that he was describing paying for stuff for people, and then them, like, he was describing giving too much money to people, and then he was describing people calling him selfish for not giving them money. And so it paints this picture of like a lot of people taking advantage of him, and him like he's like, oh well, if my buddy has like a house fire and then he needs like some money for rent, I'll give him money, but like if he forgot his mortgage, I'm not gonna like give him money.
Right.
And it's like, giving someone money for rent when they have a house fire, that's they should be really close to you to do that. That's
that's a crazy
and then
thing.
if there's someone in another state and you don't really know them that well and they say they have a house fire, I don't know that you should believe them. And I'm fairly confident people would take advantage of this guy. It's very fascinating, this guy's like this thing, because it's it feels good to not be in his situation, which I guess is like not the most like honorable position to have. The Schadenfreude or whatever. It's not like the nicest thing, but I think it's like, it's good to see a cautionary tale and then avoid it, and then see a cautionary tale and realize that is a fate that I have avoided by choosing to associate with different people. Because I was definitely sort of friends with some people that I could see doing that kind of thing to me. And he's like, he's complaining about how like, oh, people like will spread these rumors about me, and then it, like my followers drop, and then they'll go back up, and then they'll try to cancel me again, and then like, it's like, oh, he like bullied his way into staying in their hotel room, whatever. And then he was like, yeah, but you invited me to the con. I didn't buy tickets until you told me that told me to come share a room with you guys. And then he would show people the chat of them nagging him to come.
Right.
And then like he and then he bought tickets to like a con for this woman, and then she like 5 years later or something would say that it was creepy.
Right.
And then like, and he's like defending himself on all these things that like you'd have to unpack them later to understand why he's even bringing them up. And then when we were leaving, he was calling a friend on the phone and like venting about it more. Like he was exorcising a demon. It's just like, I don't know. It's a good reminder to avoid people like that, because they may just use up all your money and then use up your social credibility. And if they could, they would suck the blood out of your very veins. So there's just some people that are not good for you. But hey, the guy's got a good job. He's talking about making a lot of money. So
yeah, there's that.
He should be fine.
Hopefully
Yeah.
you can get better friends. Don't open yourself up to people who are just gonna hurt you, you know?
Just change my profile picture. That looks like some like abstract art. It's like,
Yeah, no idea.
you keep in mind I'm very zoomed out. So I see the pharmacist has Chungus, like Bugs Bunny Chungus. And then Matthew Atkinson has a pile of ash, it looks like. And then Pyroseer's got like a... I'm assuming it's like a cute anime boy or something, but I cannot really see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lowry's just him. Like I can recognize him from like the tiny thing.
It's Ichigo when he becomes Vasto Lord Hollow.
Okay, Matthew Atkinson is Ash, yeah. Anyway, oh, you know what? Here's like a kind of related happy story. Kind of. It's not like the most wholesome happy story, but it is happy. It made me quite giddy.
Okay, I like giddiness.
So as soon as you enter the con, elevator doors come open. Right outside the elevator, there's the information booth, but like right over the shoulder of the information booth guy, like right in your face. If you come out of there's 3 elevators. If you come out of the one all the way on the right, it's the first thing you see. If you come out of the one on the left, you see some other stand that was crammed in the corner that I don't know, whatever. But most of the elevators, you come out, the first thing you see in the con is this woman's stand, and so you'd think she'd do really well, but she did not. She had a bunch of bumper stickers with these like crazy sayings on them. I think I mentioned this yesterday, actually, now that I think about it. But she, so they were like, so in black background, red text, as much as you can make it pop, it was have an abortion. and don't have kids. Yeah, like all caps, aggressive, angry, don't have kids. Just no nuance, just don't have them. There was be gay, do crime. Yeah. Yeah, there was a bunch of those. It was just stuff like that, and yeah. Mine is drawing from an old friend from high school. Oh, that's nice. From what I know, it's just a generic anime boy. Well,
sounds about right.
Yeah.
I drew 1,000,000 of those in high school.
Anyway, she did not sell very well, and yeah, her like, I guess there's no word for it, but partner.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner. The person selling with her was a guy dressed in a miniskirt with a very prominent Adam's apple, and an underbite, like a far preceding, like the bottom row of teeth was far ahead of their top row of teeth, which it does really change how your like face looks. It really makes you look a little like orcish, you know. And then,
are you wearing any cosplay or?
I don't know. I think they were just dressed up in like a girl. I think they're just like, I don't know. I don't know what. There was a couple of guys that like unshaven wearing like anime girl outfits.
Right.
And I remember there was that one guy with like he had like fake tits on underneath his like anime shirt or whatever. He had like super pronounced nipples. They were like stabbing through, and they were like big nipples. And like he's like looking at the stuff on our table, and I'm just like, man, aren't you supposed to like wear a bra on top of that? But yeah. Anyway, this guy had a lot of sugar like in his like diet, whatever.
Showed on the skin, huh?
Yeah. No, 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 no. It was the teeth. The teeth were all like melted, so there's big spaces between each of the teeth, and so they looked like a barracuda, you know, like very
Okay, all right.
yeah. And they looked mad. And every time I walked past, they were yelling about something they were reading on their phone. They were yelling about something they were reading on the phone or mouth breathing, and both of those things, well, not yelling, but if you talk too much, or not talk too much, if you mouth breathe too much, your chin recedes. Like if you passively, like if you're not like doing sports or something, if you just as a habit don't breathe through your nose, your chin will recede. So you shouldn't mouth breathe. But this guy mouth breathed, and had like a weak chin with an underbite. It was quite the strong jaw, though. Strangely, receding chin, very prominent jaw, clean shaven. Anyway, very very aggressive, very scary looking. I was like perturbed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were supposed to be dressed up as something or not. Cause I don't know. I only really noticed them the second day. Because the first day, as soon as I saw that stand and all the like super like angry things, I just walked. I speed walked past, like power walked right through. I was like, okay, let me get out of here. And I went through. Before I went, I just ushered Trisha past the information desk. We needed information, and we were both just like, yeah, let's right past. And I think
We figured it out anyway.
yeah, we did. We figured out where we were supposed to go. But I think everyone went right past because they both, and the other woman selling was like this, she was like very fat, very angry, thick glasses, glaring at everybody. And like on her tablet buried under blankets, very unapproachable, very like aggressive looking. They're both very aggressive, yelling about like stuff they're reading on social media, right, to each other in the middle of like trying to sell at a con. It was like not at all what you're supposed to do. So they like did not sell, right? But it was actually like a cascading effect that the other people around them didn't sell either.
Because nobody wanted to be in the outer ring.
Because as soon as you come out of the elevator, you're ambushed by this lady, and then you're like, oh, let me get the fuck out of here, and you just go. Because if you go to the right, you're going to a dead end that you have to turn around and then face her again. So I think people just wanted to get out of there, and not spend any time in the vestibule, like in the opening area of the con. They wanted to just get in to get past this woman because they were just like, I had to get through. And all the people in that area did very poorly and packed up very early because they weren't selling. And I think it's honestly probably because this woman was so, these two women, they're guy, but anyway, they were very unpleasant. They were very very aggressive, very aggressive with like the most aggressive bumper stickers you could possibly like. I'm not even anti-abortion. I think abortion's probably a good idea in like a lot of situations. It's just like, to have a bumper sticker that just tells people flat, have an abortion, don't have kids. Like two separate bumper stickers, but like, you know, they're next to each other. And by the way, the reason I thought of it was someone said Gail Simone. I don't know who that is, but I know Raven Simone. And she had, one of her bumper stickers was, "That's so racist" in the "That's so Raven" font. And it was like, who puts that on their car? Yeah, so...
They had a lot of weird, quote-unquote, edgy bumper stickers and buttons.
I felt bad for some of the people around them, but there was... The other person next to them drew a black Yami from Yu-Gi-Oh! It was, like, very badly, like in, like, very DeviantArt looking kind of face.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And, they also looked angry and had a bunch of you know, standard stuff, standard distribution of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so those people kind of pushed everyone deeper into the con. So the people in the back,
like us.
like us.
They're
Yeah,
all their customers.
we got a lot of people over by us. We actually did fairly well, and it was funny because they have all the advantages selling in that spot, and they did not sell. There was never anyone at that table, and I had to pass it a lot to get to the elevators, to go get food, to go get stuff from the car or whatever. So I was, if I'm taking stuff back and forth on either day, I'm seeing them. So I never saw them with any customers. I never saw anybody like stopping at their table. It was very, and I as I was walking, they were calling out to someone to compliment their cosplay, and the person they complimented, as soon as they realized who was calling out about their cosplay, they started walking faster and were like, oh, big smile, like, oh, thank you, and like went faster to get away, and then they turned around and went somewhere else because they just as soon as they started talking, they were like, they forgot which way to go. They were just like, oh, let me get away. So they ended up pushing us a lot of customers, so we did better because with the small turnout there we did we still did okay because there was a lot of people over by us. They had the water was by them as well, and they had
the only one that was
still
full at the end of the day.
There was 3 water things you could get free water from. One was right by her table. One was by the gaming room where they were having game tournaments. And then one was over by us, and the one by us was empty towards the end of the day. One in the middle was like half full, and the one by her was completely full. No one wanted to stop in her eyesight, in her like line of sight, and fill up water because it was such a foreboding little like corner. And she was on the corner between like she was in an intersection between 3 avenues. One was a dead end, one goes into the con, one goes back to the elevators. She's like right there in the most prime location, by the water, everything in her court.
Yeah, by the water and by the bathrooms.
Yeah. And she was on a curve, so she had 2 sides that she could grab customers from on their approach. Nothing. Yeah, the bathrooms are a little bit she was also by the bathrooms, that's right. So was it Black Yami and Black Yugi, or was it Japanese Yugi, Black Yami? I don't know. It was like, I don't know. It was like, I would assume it's Yami because I think there were some like Egyptian robes on him or something. But they drew him like straight super African with like big lips and whatever. And I looked at the artist and they were black, and I was like, oh, so that's not like a comedy thing. Like you're like, that's as good as you draw. And then I like looked around at their other stuff and I was like, oh yeah, okay. And they looked mad. They just looked mad. Like I was just like walking by and they were just like pissed off. And I was like, yeah. I also there were some people who were just like in a not good mood generally, but
yeah, some people complaining about their sales for the day, etc.
Yeah, everyone I talked to, they were like, oh, we're doing okay, and I was like, oh, it's a little like kind of expensive for like the size of the con or whatever, and they were like, yeah, they were very enthusiastic. So we did like okay, meaning we made back our table fee, but
right.
Not no great. We're not we can't quite retire.
Anyhow, we should say goodnight to everyone.
If you were in a dark alley and you saw it behind you, would you feel threatened? The barracuda? Yeah. Yeah. And the woman was quite large. She was kind of mushrooming over the chair, you know?
Yeah, she was a big lady.
She's a big lady. Lots of blankets. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, I guess I should end on a little positive note. We met a lot of people and they were very nice, and we talked to people, and it was like, you know, a lot of people were very friendly.
Yeah, for sure. We had some good conversations.
Including that Asian girl who's like she drew some like really spectacular pieces of like Final Fantasy, like Cloud, and I I bought a print. I was gonna buy a print from her, and then she gave it to me she gave me the display one for free, which was super nice. And we gave her a comic in exchange, and that was wholesome and happy and nice. Yeah, she was like, oh, she like subscribed. she was like, oh, what is it called? And she like subscribed like in front of me. She's like, yeah, I watch like background stuff. She listens to this. She's gonna be like,
she's gonna be terrified. Think we're a bunch of freaks.
But generally in life, you shouldn't worry about that. You should just, because if you do, you might end up like that guy with the weak chin who has all these like weirdos in his life, like trying to ruin his life. Trying to come up with trying to get creative to come up with reasons that he might be creepy. It's like, oh, well, you're really enthusiastic when you take pictures or something. It's like, I like it. Yeah, man.
I like my job, man.
So, yeah, don't worry too much about acting a certain way. So you make like people in general happy. Just make yourself happy and make the people who are like important in your life happy, and stuff will generally fall into place, I think. So
yeah,
let me just put this in the right spot because I moved it earlier. Now there we go. Okay.
Right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Describe her in terms of Trishas. How many Trishas tall and how many Trishas wide? That's quite funny. Anyway. Love you all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Really appreciate you you hanging out and chatting and stuff. You're all the best. Every single one of you is fantastic.